I was thinking about this actually when I looked at another part of your manifesto, which is sort of community over economy message. You say the Tories promise a bigger economy. Labour promises more public spending. Neither will make us happy. We need to feel integrated within our community, caring for our families and for our neighbours. We are social creatures, not accountants or consumers. And that was interesting to me because there's a kind of debate within the Tory party now between the kind of Thatcherites, or sometimes characterized a bit differently as the kind of Lib Dem side or the One Nation side. Then there's the NatCon side, which is the National Conservatives, who are more concerned about social conservatism and will accept a bit more interventionism from the state. It sounded to me like you were siding on that side. You were saying money's not everything, consumerism isn't everything. Although you've said we need a Thatcher, is your emphasis more on social conservatism than on the sort of economic libertarianism?
It's all of it. I think it's all hand in glove. You can't do one without the other. We can't have a better country unless we fix many streams that are going wrong. So there is no silver bullet. But the bit about the manifesto there, what I'm really talking about there is, if you look across the country, we're richer now than we've ever been. Even though, we talk about child poverty and a crisis of living, we're richer than we've ever been. And yet we seem to be more unhappy than we've ever been. So money isn't going to make us happy. Of course, we need to be a rich first world country, and we need these benefits and we need these conveniences. Of course we do. But pursuing only that makes us hollow shells. And that's what we're becoming. That's why no one can concentrate now on the internet. And we have got to give messages now over less than 30 seconds because no one pays attention. So we need to go back to basics, and that's a cliche in itself. And what I mean by that is, what's happened to the family in my lifetime? When I was growing up from a single parent household, I was the exception. None of my friends were single parent children. They all had fathers at home. Most of the kids my charity works with now on the streets, I haven't got fathers at home. That's a huge problem. We denigrate the family all the time. We financially reward single mothers not to have men and fathers at home. We now have introduced new types of family to compete against a traditional family. And there's nothing wrong if you live in a non-traditional family because, we're all sorts. But let's be honest with people. Let's say a traditional married family, mother and father, is the best way to raise your children. That's not my opinion. That's every report, every government and every university has ever produced in my lifetime says exactly the same thing. And yet we don't try to promote that. I'm not saying we denigrate other families, we persecute them. I'm just saying there's no truth anymore now. We're not all pushing in the same direction. We're all splitting up into tribes. And that will lead to tribal warfare. That's violence.
Yeah, it's funny. Danny Kruger made the same statement at the NatCon conference back in spring, and he was saying, that the normative family is the building block of society, or something along those lines. And everyone went crazy. And Matt Hancock said, "I can't believe he's saying that. It's so terrible." It was a completely obvious statement,
Mm.
which we all knew for generations until 10 minutes ago. And like you say, you haven't been raised in that. It doesn't mean you can't advocate it. Like, I don't have children, but I say we should probably have families, guys. I think that's perfectly reasonable. Everyone takes it as a terrible insult now, like, oh, that means he's a bigot. It's like, no, it's just you can't base society around really, a small percentage of people. It has to be based on something, on the majority, which has to be the nuclear family. So yeah, I
It
mean, I
does,
totally agree.
and it's not just a majority in this country. We're talking about the world majority. We're talking about the world majority historically. That's what we're talking about. Every culture, every people, every country, and every continent have all come to the same conclusion up to 50 years ago, which was the nuclear family, mother and father in some sort of religious ceremony, having children and raising children with support of extended family and grandparents. That's been our history. And suddenly, the last 50 years, we think we know better than the whole memory of humankind over millennia. We're quite stupid creatures, really, if we think we know better.
Yeah. Well, yes, there's this thing, especially on the left, of thinking they can change human nature, and just it doesn't work.
If you like that video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and comment. And if you like what I'm saying about running for Mayor of Greater Manchester, then stick around. Tell your family, tell your friends. The only way I'm going to have a chance of winning is a grassroots movement. So be part of that movement and hit that bell. Thanks.